Alright, welcome. If you're new to the channel, my name's Elliott and you're watching Rickety Ski Reviews. Today, we're gonna do it a little different. Instead of comments and questions and answers, today I'm gonna be replying to one of my videos from earlier in the week, how large of a ski quiver should you have? Now, a ton of the comments went in not only talking about how many skis they have in their quiver, which I appreciate, I asked for, but a lot of people talking about what's in their quiver, what skis they use, and what kind of lineup they have for skis. Well, that is ripe for the picking, in my opinion, for rating your ski quiver, and I am also going to tell you what skis I think would round out that ski quiver, what I would get to fill it out if you need it at all. So, Elliott, is it ethical to be roasting your comment section? Yeah! No, it's not ethical, but am I gonna do it? Yes. The comment sections have shredded me apart, and finally I'm getting a little piece of the justice here. So, without further ado, let's jump right into these comments, see what people have to say for themselves, and roast them a little bit, but also give some helpful advice to what I think people would like. You know, that's gonna be the trade-off. You guys are gonna get roasted a little bit, but I'm also gonna give you something helpful, kind of as a, you know, salty and sweet, a little bit of a mixture here. Okay. The first one that someone did, and I didn't ask you guys what skis you have, but you volunteered that, so. And if you'd like your ski setup to be roasted, please put a comment down below. Maybe I'll do this again. Okay, the first one I see, JDog004 said, I should probably take your recommendation here instead of having a quiver of 16. 16 skis, my God, what are you doing with all those skis? Just like logistically, at 16, some of those have to be very old. Take them to the ski swap, huh? Yeah, what are you doing? You can't be using at least half of those. Anyway, I'll leave you alone. You didn't tell me what skis, so we're moving right on. Okay, Dwayne Narayan 3716 says, I now have only 2 down from 6 skis. I did a little house cleaning last year. My main ski in the east is the Rossi Black Ops Escaper 92, and in the west I use my Sender 94 Ti. Arguably, these 2 skis are rather similar with the exception of the sheet of metal in the Senders. Yeah, I was gonna say. I am missing a powder ski, but honestly, I just haven't had the need and make do with the skis I have. My local retailer would love to set me up with a QST 106, but when and where I ski doesn't make it practical. I can't agree more with your approach to skis. Nothing does everything perfectly, and after seeing your review of the Headcore 93, I almost bought it, but decided to go with the Senders instead. Okay, so you have a Black Ops Escaper 92 and a Sender 94. Jeez, you like heavy skis. I've only skied the Black Ops Sender, so I only have like a little understanding of the Black Ops DNA, and I did ski the Sender 104 Ti. Yeah. You like really heavy, stiff skis, it seems like. I think you got everything you need if that's what you like. I'm not gonna it can't be too critical. I would just say, I think the Rossignol designs are getting a little old. And if you like all those other skis and you are kind of looking at a powder ski with your local shop recommending the QST 106, I would try out the Sender 110 Free. It has a lot of those same features of the skis you like, while also having the lightness and the flotation of a powder ski, but really carving well and being a fun all-around ski. If you're looking for a powder ski to round that out, which it doesn't sound like you necessarily need to, but the first thing I would try if you do find yourself in that situation, try the Sender 110 Free. It was my favorite Rossignol ski I skied. In a different way, I also liked the Rossignol experience, but that's a different story. Yeah, if you're looking for a powder ski, try the Sender 110 Free. You might really like it. It's in my opinion, the biggest innovation Rossignol has had in the last like 5 years. Thank you for the comment. Okay, next one. Frederick Vermote 1960 says, 4 downhill for Sierra Cement. The Volkl M6 Mantra in a 177, Enforcer 94 in a 179, Blizzard Brahma in 82, 173 length, and the Salomon QST 106 in a 173. Contemplating getting a Blizzard Thunderbird R15. Wow! I like that setup, honestly. Like, the last 2 skis could be a whole quiver for most people. The Brahma 82 and the QST 106. And then you've got just like a bunch of stuff sprinkled in for funsies. You don't need anything. Honestly, you don't. You've got like the perfect 4 ski quiver. You could maybe get like a bent 110 or something a little bit wider, a little bit easier to go off trail with. Or consolidate some of those skis and get like a Stockli Storm Rider. Or if you haven't already, a few of the things you like the old Enforcer 94 and the Volkl M6 Mantra, maybe try the 2025 Enforcer 99. I actually really like that ski, and I feel like it covers a lot more ground, but otherwise you're set. The only ski that you are maybe missing in this kind of filled out quiver would be if you like short turn radiuses and you want to start looking. The Black Crow's Octo would probably do that pretty well, but you're in the Sierra Cement. I don't know. I'm just saying, if you're looking for something that isn't covered by this humongo, really well built out ski quiver, there's only a couple little things I could think of. Get like a wide playful ski like the Bent 110. I hate the word playful. Get a wide powder ski that's forgiving in the woods and very maneuverable, or look at getting like a Black Crow's Octo where you have short turn radiuses, or the Black Crow's Mirror's Core if you care about freestyle and short turn radiuses. But for like, from what I understand of the Sierras, probably don't need a really short turn radius ski anyway. Kudos to you. Not much to find here. Okay, next comment is by Fishing Crew. My East Coast quiver. Okay, this will be interesting. Rock ski K2 Iconic 80 Ti. I'm not familiar with the Iconic, but that's probably why it's a rock ski, because it's an older ski. Dynastar M Pro 90. I mean, that is like a decent ski. It's definitely a very maneuverable off-trail ski. Daily driver though, you must be a pretty strong skier. Okay, Dynastar Cham for AT. Not familiar with AT skis. And then Carving Castle MX74. Powder Atomic Backland 117. This was too cheap not to buy, but should have been 107. Dang, that is a very aggressive East Coast ski. You have a couple of wider skis, but you know, it's a designated powder ski. It'll last you a long time. For the East Coast, that's a good setup, honestly. The only thing I could think is that you might try, if you like the Dynastar M Pro and you've had K2 in the past, maybe try out a K2 Mindbender, although they're becoming harder and harder to recommend just because the quality control's gone down. They're made in China now. A little harder to recommend, but all in all, you've got a very solid setup. What would round this out? If it was me, you should really try an Atomic Maverick. If you like the M Pros and you like carving and you have another pair of Atomic Backlands, try the Maverick 88 Ti. I bet you'd really love it, and I bet it could honestly do the job of a couple of these different skis. Between the M Pros and the Castles, you might get the same thing out of an Atomic Maverick. Now, what you have is working, so whatever, but just if you get the chance to demo a pair of Atomic Maverick 88 Ti's, you might really enjoy them. They're light and they have really good flotation while still being really responsive and getting the perks of that Horizon tech. And especially if you know you like that with the Backlands, it might be a pretty easy ski to like file under something that you'd be interested in. Oh, before I forget, please consider liking and subscribing. If you like this kind of content, that is a free way of supporting the channel. And on top of that, if you want to become a member, we have that through the app. You can do that. I did like the smallest monthly amount I can, but that's a way of directly supporting the channel. Or if you like my ski recommendations, I will have a bunch of links down below. If you're planning on buying skis, just consider using those links. They last for 30 days. Anything you buy, a small percentage goes towards the channel. But one, it sends a message to those retailers that they should continue using us. And two, it just financially supports the channel directly. It's not much, but it does help. Okay, next one. I am an intermediate skier progressing towards advanced, and I have 4 pairs of ski. All bought on huge sale though. Nice. Like you, I have my Core 87, which are my daily. I actually no longer have the Core 87s. Those went back to head. I probably won't send future skis back, but just, you know, for full transparency, those Core 87s and all the other head core skis that I reviewed went back to the manufacturer. So I like when companies early on support me. I'm happy to kind of have that kind of arrangement, but going forward in the future, I will probably be keeping skis just to cover the cost of production on these videos. Okay, anyway. They have a Core of 87, Castle ZX98 for big powder. That was a pure impulse purchase. I also have some shorter Rossignol Black Ops 92 because I caught some bad spring conditions. Finally, I caught amazing Bluebird end of last season, all slopes. Yada yada yada. I purchased a pair of Head Eye Magnum. Okay, like kind of like the Head Eye Rally, similar. My friends call me crazy, but it ensures that I get the maximum fun out of each day. I think that's actually a pretty reasonable setup. I just think for an intermediate, there's some skis where you're probably not getting that much out of it, or you'll outgrow it. For instance, you have a Castle ZX98. I haven't skied that ski, but a 98 width underfoot probably isn't giving you that much powder. You could probably cut that out and just get a designated powder ski. And that way it'll actually do a good job, though you are on the East Coast, I think I saw. Yeah, like Quebec. So it's probably a pretty fine setup. I think the Core 87 for an intermediate skier is fantastic. I would just say that the ZX98 I would swap out with like an Atomic Backland 107, or even honestly a Headcore 105 would be perfect for you. Okay, on to the next one. Someone else said having 10 pairs doesn't feel crazy at all if you think about it. If you want like to rip on groomers, you can have Slalom GS Super G, got a Mindbender 99, a QST blank, yada yada. I think, yeah, 10 pairs is crazy. It makes sense over time, like you just kind of accumulate things, but I would strongly encourage people, if you didn't ski on the skis more than 5 times in a year, maybe think about like donating them, selling them, whatever. I just think 10 is kind of extreme. If it works for you, more power to you, but I think skis have gotten so good that that is a little overkill. But who am I to judge? Man, you guys have a lot of skis. I was just looking through this, and maybe it's just the vocal handful of people who are really into the content and like to comment, and which I love. But I am seeing on average about 6 or 7 pairs of skis per person. Man, people have a lot of skis. I guess I would have been in that camp too. Like I moved a couple times, so my race skis got donated. But geez, you guys like your skis. All right, I'm not judging. I'm not here to hate. You guys want 10 pairs of skis? You do you, boo-boo. And more power to you, honestly. I would just say, like, don't get caught up in, like, I have 10 pairs of skis so I can never look at anything else. I would, like, slow roll it maybe, where you go, okay, these skis are 10 to 15 years old. The bindings haven't been checked in a long time. Maybe it's time to, like, rotate these skis out of our little quiver here. But more power to you. Just because skis are improving so much. Like I've said before, we are in a total golden age of ski design, and I really think a lot of the newer skis just do such a good job. I wouldn't want to miss out because I was on some old, you know, Rossignol B3 Bandits or something. Okay, the last ski setup comes from Fern Campos 385. Hi Elliott, I like the QST 92 so much that I own it in 2 lengths. My local mountain is Mammoth Mountain. I use it the longer length, 168 for hard pack, off-piste conditions in the winter, and the shorter length, 160 in the spring. I know it sounds crazy, but I was able to get the 2023 version for under $350. I also own the Salomon QST 106 for powder. Keep up the great content. That is a little crazy. Yeah. One ski twice with only 7 centimeters difference. A little crazy, sure. But you know what? Maybe it is nice to do that because you have one for spring, one for normal winter conditions. You can probably wax them differently and get a buildup of different wax conditions. I am opposite. Maybe it's just because I'm a bigger dude. I like longer skis in the spring skiing because I feel like they kind of track better. But if it's working for you, man, I'm not gonna sit here and judge you. And you got the QST 106 for powder. I mean, just on its face, if you look at it like having a QST 92, 2 pairs, and a QST 106 for powder, that's a pretty good setup. Honestly, the QST line is really nice that way. I feel like the QST 92 is such a good daily driver, and then you get a QST 106 to round it off on a powder day. There is almost nothing, if nothing, that you would not be able to ski on. Those 2 skis cover pretty much everything. Obviously, you know, those really short radius turns or hard track race skis or, you know, big like crud cutters, they definitely have some gaps, but the amount of coverage that those 2 skis cover for a lot of other people's quivers would be like 3 or 4 skis. And I'm only saying that too because some of the other quivers have older skis, so they're a little bit more narrow focused. But back to what I was saying. This is a great setup, actually. It's simplistic. It's got a QST92 complemented with a QST106. I like a little more variety. Like, I would want something that was a little bit more precise in the carving. But you said you like off-trail skiing. This is pretty amazing. I think this is actually a very clever setup. The 2 skis in different lengths, you do you. Whatever's working for you, right? Who am I here to sit and judge? If you like it and you're happy on it, that's all that really matters. So thank you for commenting. That was kind of the most unique one. Yeah, so please, in the comments down below, send me your ski setup. Feel free to even send pictures to my email, ricketyskireviews@gmail.com, and I will do this again where I rate your setups and give my input on them and maybe tease you a little bit. But anyway, that's the end of the video. If you like this kind of content, please consider liking and subscribing. That's a free way to support the channel. Also use the links down below for all of the links to purchase skis if you're in the market. But more than anything, just thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. See ya.